Today, we're deep diving into a topic that's often overlooked but has massive impact on your overall health, your liver. And if you've been struggling with fat loss, hormone imbalance, or fatigue, you're going to want to tune in. The liver is the powerhouse of your metabolism. And no, it's not just the organ that helps you detox after a weekend of indulgence, it does so much more. It detoxifies, supports hormone balance, helps with digestion, and even affects your thyroid function. Today, we'll explore all of these things from thyroid health to fat loss, hormones, and more. I'm going to share my functional medicine perspective and give you actionable steps to support your liver daily. Trust me, this episode is going to change the way you look at your body's detox and metabolism. So, buckle up, let's go.
Welcome to My True Health podcast. I'm Michele Scarlett, a board certified functional medicine practitioner, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, certified personal trainer, and women's health coach. I'm here to help women achieve true health by deep diving into the symptoms that often go ignored or dismissed. Join me and other experts in the women's health space as we uncover the truth around all things women's health. Hello, friends. Before we dive into today's episode, this is your friendly reminder to rate and review my podcast so more women like you get access to it. We know how important it is to empower and educate women to be advocates for their own health because the information we share on this podcast is not the information we're taught by our doctors.
Let's start with a simple truth. Your liver is the most underrated organ when it comes to health and metabolism. Sure, most people think of it when it comes to drinking alcohol, like, oh, I need to give my liver a break after that last weekend, a dry January here and there, maybe. But the truth is, your liver is detoxifying all day long, every day. Every time you eat, breathe, put lotion on your body, or even the shampoo you use to wash your hair, those chemicals are being processed by your liver every day. But here's where it gets interesting. The liver isn't just a filter for toxins. It also produces bile, which is your body's way of digesting fats and eliminating waste. Think of bile as the super cleanser that helps your body absorb fat soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, and K, while also escorting toxins out of your body. Your liver is so amazing that it is responsible for over 500 functions of your body, one of which is bile production and excretion. Ultimately, if your bile isn't flowing properly, your liver becomes congested, which means toxins, excess hormones, and heavy metals start to recirculate in the body, making things like fat loss nearly impossible, giving you a diagnosis of high cholesterol. You'll experience fatigue, bloating, constipation, and it even creates the perfect environment for parasites and bacteria to overgrow. So, in short, poor bile flow equals toxin overload, which is a breeding ground for inflammation, disease, and dysfunction. Now, in functional medicine, I always start with functional lab testing. Whether you're dealing with bloating, acne, hair loss, or weight gain, I always want to look to see how well your liver is functioning. And here's the kicker: doctors don't look into this. When I run labs, I'm looking for markers of liver health, among others. To get a bit sciencey here, I look at the markers beta glucuronidase on a GI map test. I look at heavy metals on an HTMA hair test, and I look at the Dutch test for hormone metabolism and methylation. All of these markers give me insight into how your liver is functioning and whether it's congested. Now, let's get into your thyroid health. This is a big one because so many women have thyroid issues, but don't understand the connection it has to their liver. Your thyroid produces a hormone known as T4, which needs to be converted into an active, more usable hormone T3. And guess where that conversion happens? Yep, in your liver. If your liver is congested, this conversion doesn't happen efficiently. So even if your thyroid is technically fine, your body isn't getting enough active thyroid hormone. This is where hypothyroidism comes in with symptoms like feeling cold all the time, weight gain, especially around the belly, constipation, brain fog, and bloating. Now, the tricky part here is when you go to your doctor, they order a TSH test that only tells part of the story. In functional medicine, we go deeper. I order a full thyroid panel, which includes free T3, free T4, reverse T3, TSH, and your thyroid antibodies. But I also check the liver markers because if your liver isn't converting T4 to T3 properly, no amount of thyroid meds will make you feel better. And that's the missing link your doctor might be overlooking. Now, let's talk hormones. Your liver doesn't just help deliver nutrients from your food, it also detoxifies hormones like estrogen and cortisol. So, if your liver is congested, you might be experiencing bad PMS, mood swings, and symptoms of estrogen dominance like endometriosis. And this can even increase your risk of hormone related cancers. So, cortisol is a hormone and it is a big one. Your body produces cortisol to help you deal with stress, but it's the liver's job to process and convert it to more usable forms. If your liver isn't doing its job, you'll end up with cortisol dysfunction, making you feel wired and tired or completely overwhelmed with life, not able to handle stress. And you may even end up with insomnia, which all becomes such a nightmare when you're trying to juggle a career, your family, little kids, and ultimately just life itself. Not to mention, cortisol dysfunction makes it really hard to lose weight. In functional medicine, I like to look at cortisol levels throughout a 24-hour period using a Dutch test compared to a blood test, which your doctor might order. I'm looking for an overall cortisol pattern and its value in relation to other antagonistic hormones and how well it's being metabolized in your liver. I have seen so many women on a cortisol protocol that only addresses the cortisol and not the liver, which is just a band aid solution and a waste of time and money. So if you haven't had a Dutch test or a saliva test to test your cortisol to find a cortisol pattern. And if your practitioner is not looking into your liver and gut health, as a side note, then you need to be looking into working with somebody different because cortisol is never the root cause. What is happening behind the scenes causing the cortisol or hormone imbalance? So let's get to the big one, fat loss. The struggle with fat loss is what most women come to me for because they're unhappy with the way their body looks and the way that they feel. And gaining weight unexpectedly tends to hit them like a brick wall. And it becomes their main focus. While thyroid issues, hormone imbalance, and gut issues are usually present, these things are often easy enough to ignore because you don't see them when you look in the mirror. But when we work on these things and bring them into balance, we often see a huge physical transformation because of it. So, if your liver is overburdened, here's what's happening: your metabolism is slowing down. Your body's main job is to keep you alive. So, it's focusing on pumping your blood, keeping your vital organs doing their job, and fat loss is so not the priority if your liver is struggling. In short, if your liver is congested, your body has to put more effort into helping it work, and it doesn't feel safe enough to let go of any excess fat. In fact, it can actually make you gain weight as a survival tool. A lot of women think the answer is to exercise more and eat less. Trust me, I've been here too, but that can actually make the situation worse. Stressing your body out with extreme exercise or calorie restrictions can cause even more cortisol dysregulation, which in turn makes fat loss even harder. So the solution here isn't to do more. It's to take the burden off of your liver by reducing toxins and supporting detox pathways. Detox in this context doesn't mean going on a juice cleanse. It means supporting your liver every single day so that it can work at its full capacity. It can increase your metabolism and body safety so you lose fat more effortlessly. All right, let's get to some practical things you can do today to start supporting your liver. First up, castor oil packs. You apply them to your liver area for it to reduce inflammation and stimulate bile flow. These are amazing. They can get a little bit messy, but honestly, I have a favorite company and I will leave the link in the show notes. Next up, coffee enemas. Although a little bit unconventional, I have even found these to be incredibly healing, and the amount of energy you end up having is unbelievable. They are amazing for increasing bile production and helping the liver detox. They are also so great at increasing your glutathione, which is the master antioxidant. You can start incorporating foods like dandelion, arugula, and beetroot into your meals or as a tea. They help stimulate bile flow, or you can drink lemon water. Of course, reducing your overall toxic load by swapping out your everyday products for non toxic ones will also help. I have a whole list of my favorite non toxic swaps that I'll put in the show notes for you. And remember, detox isn't something that you just do for a few days, it's something you can incorporate into your daily routine, and you should. To wrap this up, your liver is the powerhouse behind your metabolism, fat loss, hormone balance, and overall well being. When you give it the love and support it needs every day, your body will thank you in the form of better energy, clearer skin, clearer brain, balanced hormones, and yes, effortless fat loss. Check the show notes for links to my favorite liver supporting products and swaps and free detox guide to help get you started. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.
If you're looking for more information on how you can work with me, you can head to my website at www.michellescarlett.com or find me over on Instagram at michellescarlett_. And this information will also be provided in the show notes.